Let me turn that down, guys, for now. Yeah, I'm on the I'm on the phone to talk. While we're waiting for them to come on, I'm going to change that scene behind as well. Hi there. Yeah, I'm here to pay my bill this morning, and I think it's £37 I owe. Yeah, certainly. Where have I put it now? Let's have a look. Here. Oh, there we go. Yep, it's and I am the name they use. Yes, it is. Uh, I'll have it done by text, please. Yes, please. Yeah. Yep, certainly. There we go. It's 2209. You're welcome. You're welcome. Uh, yep, I've been also. I'm glad you asked me on my mornings because I can now pass information that people need to know. I don't know if you've heard about what they are calling people that have taken the COVID shots. They are now saying if you've taken the COVID shots, it's been going through the courts that people who've taken them are actually not human. Uh, COVID shot. If people have taken the COVID shots, y- Nope, it's going to be passed around the world. Anybody who's taken, because this is the whole plan. They've known this is the whole plan since
My God.
2010. I've read a documentation called "Science and Technology for Future Scenarios." They talked about a top-down government way of doing things, and it's all been designed where the establishment controls every facet of your life.
So that's just scary to know. That's very scary. I didn't even know that. When was this announced, if I may ask?
Pardon?
When was this announced? Because
Uh,
I just got to know this from yourself literally right now. I didn't know that this is basically the new thing now.
It's myself, people like Max Egan, and many of us have been talking out for a long time. But it's only been going through the courts on this side of the transhuman thing in the last few months. But there's also a court case with the Queen herself of England before she died, and many others. Glaxo, something they call, it's a pharmaceutical company and all of that. Many people went through the course, and not many people know about it, but they were found guilty on pushing a poison onto the world, which the World Economic Forum knows, which the Club of Rome knows, which I mean the Trilateral Commission, and I mean a lot of people don't know these groups. It's only if you're a researcher, I mean I mean, or you've got like a slight interest into these things that you know of these names and everything else, and the whole thing. It isn't just the C-19 thing. The COVID-19, the smart technologies and the geoengineering and a lot of things are all interconnected on controlling people's lives.
My God.
And the thing is, what I'm saying is, I mean, because I know the thing is a lot bigger, to me, this is just like everyday normal stuff to me. 'Cause I've been researching for over 20, 30 years already. So to me, this is like watching a football match. But for those that haven't studied this for the first time, it's like, you just hit me with a missile from a tank.
You're right. Totally great. My God.
Because you check out the Klaus Schwab. He wrote a book called COVID-19 and the Great Reset, which the Great
Heard
Reset,
about it.
which is basically he's on about 99% of human beings will be jobless by 2030.
My God. That's a big number, ain't it?
And the thing is, they're halfway there. They've killed a lot of people off already through the COVID shots because on BitChute, there's loads of people, families who have put videos of ones they've lost because of the COVID shot.
You're right. I had an uncle who actually passed on because of COVID. That's how, diverse, this sickness or this killing was.
Hmm. It's
My God.
and the thing is as well. I mean, because what they're doing as well, I spotted years ago. You know, I've been blessed, because my family's mixed. I mean, we're all colours, so I mean, I don't have this naivety that we're seeing right now in the UK and the US. But what I've noticed, they've made sure that the whites and blacks have always been at each other's throats and all that, while they can get these agendas passed. Because if you noticed, they blame the public, so we fighting each other. But in the occult circles, it's not like, oh, we just got whites in this lodge and then blacks in this lodge or Asians. They mix themselves, so it's a top
Mm,
tier group against the public. So we, the public, are got to come all together. You know what I mean? But
that's right. That's
unfortunately,
the only way to fight them.
yep,
Mm,
it's the only way to do it. You know what I mean? Because, and this is why I'm disgusted with a lot of people in the UK. Because my cousin Holly, right? She's coloured skin. She's married a Mexican. I will not say the other way because I think it's disrespectful. But she's she married a Mexican and all of that, and she's what I mean. And these people are saying, "Oh, because you're this color skin, I mean, you gotta get kicked out." They're gonna be kicking out my family. Uh,
Oh,
I mean, I'm white. My cousin Holly, she's brown color skin. So what they're saying is they want my family divided. I will not stand for that. Hell no.
oh. No, you really can't.
Yeah, I mean, so I can feel, you know, I mean, what the people classify themselves as. I know Muslim isn't a race, it's a religion and all that, but people who say, oh, you're Muslim, they identify them as brown. But Cat Stevens white. You know what I mean? There's a singer, he's white and he's Muslim. He's not exactly brown or whatever like that. So I'm like, dudes, wake the fuck up.
Correct.
You know what I mean? Because I mean, and they got people in the West. They worship Jesus Christ, but Jesus Christ wasn't white. He was dark skinned for flip's sake.
And a lot of people do not know that, eh?
Oh, yeah, I mean, I can see why now the Ethiopians, you know, they would have the right to laugh because that's the first Bible in my books. You know, I mean, yes, I read the King James, but I'm also looking at the Ethiopian Bible because they teach a different way to what the West are
Correct.
taught. So I'm learning both Bible. I mean, for somebody who's born in Britain, I don't speak like the Brits.
Mm.
You know what I mean? But we got
No,
to
I
speak.
say Miss Sandal, you are quite a knowledgeable man.
Oh no, I'm just a dumb person who just happened to find this information. I mean,
Doesn't sound like it though.
and you got to be humble with it as well. That's why I joke around and stuff like that. You're putting that like joking around because you got to be humble with it as well and stuff like that. But you,
Correct.
but you get a lot of Christians I've found. Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna get least of this, you know, later. But anyway, I don't care. Um, a lot of Christians they're like, oh, I got the rapture coming out. No, 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 you haven't. Because why would you want to leave people in pain and suffering while you shoot off everything? That is committing a sin. We're supposed to be here to help one another and everything else. You know what I mean?
Correct.
Because so anybody who thinks they're going to be taken off in a rapture and leaving people back in pain, nah, those people are going to hell.
That's right. Have to.
Yeah, I mean, I sorry, when we talk about Christ, sorry, I've taken us on away from the bill. But yeah, I
That's
mean,
alright.
but the thing is, yeah, I mean, we are being tortured right now, and the things that are happening right now, when you look at it, and you start seeing things for what they truly are, and you start linking it to the Bible, it's like, hold on a minute, we were taught all this in the Bible, and people say it's not real. But yeah, we look at a lot of the shows on TV. Even they reference the Bible on some levels, and so
And
if
that's just crazy.
yeah, it's like the Lord of the Ring films. If you look at the allegories that's in the Lord of the Ring films, and then you compare it to the Bible, and it's like, wait a minute, the Bible's talking like Lord of the Rings on some level, and Lord of the Rings talking like the Bible on another level. What the heck? What's the old saying? Nothing new and under the sun. So, but yeah,
Tell me about it.
it's fascinating. You know, I mean, I just find it how people miss. You know, how the masses not. No, I mean, there's loads, there's thousands of us that knows about it that are out there and so forth. But how something so obvious in front that we miss it all the time. But it's true, it's like the Bible says, isn't it? Those who have eyes to see will see; those who have ears will hear, sort of thing.
Well, yeah. Yeah.
Sorry, I feel like I'm taking us away from
No, no, no. Not at all. Not at all. So you good. It's good to have, these human conversations. So I
yeah,
realize that,
and that's one
we are
thing.
robots, but at the end of the day, we're human. So,
And that's one thing I think the youngsters of today are gonna might miss in the future if us older ones don't keep standing up because we're already seeing almost like a lost culture. You know what I mean? No matter where they're from in the world, it's like the mobile phones, the tablets, and all of that. Because there's so much psychology being put into these things. It's not the phones themselves; it's the psychology and the programming that's gone into these things. And
you're right.
I've seen the new CPU that they want to build, which is going to be more powerful than any CPU we've ever seen before, which will take AI onto the next level that will dominate human life on such a level that I don't think people are ready for it.
This AI thing scares me though.
It is,
It really does.
but it's we're still at the crossroads a little bit. Despite AI now starting to get away from us a little bit, we're still at a crossroads where we humans can say, "Hey, we can stop this now." You know what I mean? But we don't.
Yeah.
We we like to play devil's advocate. It's like, oh, no, not devil's advocate. We like to play chicken. We like, see a truck coming, but we like to run at the truck and then pull out at the last minute. That's human beings. It's like, oh, we're running at this really dangerous thing, and if we pull out too late, oh well, at least we tried. No, stop it before you can get to that point. We're mental on some levels as humans. I gotta be honest.
Yeah. I'm totally agree with that.
And I do run a what you call it as well, a Rumble account. It's not much videos on there, because my main channel's got taken down off YouTube and all of that. I've had to keep rebuilding back up and everything else. I do run on Rumble under Warrior Wales, and
Mhm.
and I've set up 14 channels under the one name of Roy Wales, which is all like drug or health. There's one PDF. I think you can guess what that's about.
Yeah.
Sitting bad people,
Yeah.
and also I talk about God's children, which Israel thinks they're God's children and they're not. We've got a bunch of Edomites living in Israel right now, which I am very passionate on that. You know what I mean? Because, and the thing is, well,
Same.
I don't blame the people of Israel. You know what I mean? Because they brainwashed, like a lot of people have been brainwashed in this world. It's the political classes.
That's just the sad truth, eh?
Yep.
Mm.
So I'm trying to reach out to the people in Israel as well as trying to help people not be killed in Gaza because both sides are victims. Both sides, on public level, are victims. But unfortunately, we've seen the establishment say, "Hey, do you support Israel or do you support Palestine?" Which is another divide and conquer method. I firmly believe. So I'm trying to get people to say, "Hey, I used to have a show on Spreaker, and I'd be like, sod Benjamin Yahoo, that guy's an idiot, and this is back in 2012 and 13, before October the 7th. You know what I mean?" And
Mm.
I've been speaking up for years, and people like Rachel Corey who got killed and stuff like that. You know what I mean? And the Nakba and all that stuff. So we have people like saying, "Ah, you just want to have a Holocaust." No, the Holocaust is being done right now, and it's being done by the World Economic Forum through the COVID shots and all that. We need to come together, every country on a public level. I firmly believe we need to come together. Yeah, I mean, unfortunately,
That's the only way. Mm.
Unfortunately, 'cause I speak openly like this, I've been attacked. I've lost my home. I've had my bank accounts attacked many times. I'm so open in what I say. I keep getting
Mhm.
attacked. You'd think I would stop speaking, but I always look towards one person. Did Jesus Christ stop speaking out? No. They're gonna have to kill me. I will not stop speaking. They can take the clothes off my
Oh.
back. So they've done so much to me. They've divided me from my family. I've lost. I'm about to lose another home. You know what I mean? They train everything against me, and I'm still going. Bring it. I'm only here for a short time anyway. Yeah,
Oh. This Sandra.
I mean,
Only God will with you for what you're doing, eh?
yeah, because at the end of the day, it's just a meat suit. I mean, people. Because why are we hanging on? If you're a true believer in Christ and all that, and you believe there is something else there, and I've gotten to a point now. I know something's there, and and the police just look at me. The conversations we've had. And when my mum was alive in 2023, she was stunned on what came out my mouth. Because the police officer came in, the police officer said, "Oh, there's something up in the window that somebody doesn't like. Can you please take it away?" And I went, "No." And the officer said to me, "Do you believe in government's laws?" I went, "No, I believe in God's laws." And the officer left. My mum looked at me. She smiled. She said, "I've never heard anybody speak like that." I said,
Uh,
when you believe in Jesus, you just speak it. You don't worry about what happens to you next. If you put yourself in Jesus, good things happen. Not all. I mean, it may look terrible if you could get killed or put on a cross or wherever, but you might be the symbol that will activate the next generation to stand up. You know what I mean?
that's correct.
I remember shocked. She was smiling at me, and so when she finally died, you know, what I mean, because she's gone through, yeah, I mean, was not arthritis, the more advanced one. I've forgotten the name of it now. She died from it. She was bedridden and all that, but she looked at me and she said, "When I do finally die, despite the attack, you Paul, I mean, you're just going to enjoy it." And I went, "Yeah, I am." I, I,
See,
I was arrested
so
over
I think
Christmas.
you were basically born with it. You were born with it, yeah.
Yeah, I was born to take on the establishment
Certainly.
because I died at
Certainly.
birth as well, mind. The doctor brought me back and I had a bit of a cold drum in neck. The body had shut down. There was no heartbeat, nothing. And then they brought me back, and my family have always said, "You've never seen the world in the same way as everybody else. You've always seen it in a way it's meant to be seen." And I've been a loner for it, and I love it. Sorry, I just can't help it. I got a big grin on my face right now. But anyway, I think we better pay this bill. I could chat all day. Sorry.
No problem, Mr. Andrew. I'm quite a talker myself, so yeah. But of course, I will certainly assist you with making the payments, sir. I
Okay.
just would need you to advise me of the card type. Is it like a Visa,
It's
MasterCard, or UK Master?
yeah, it's a debit visa. Yeah, and that's one thing as well. I hate
Uh,
money. I do hate money.
I hate spending money. I love receiving it, but spending it, nah, I hate spending it.
With me, I see. I mean, I know it's for a tool and stuff like that too. You know, what I mean, because certain people set systems up in this way. But I see money as a slave because when you actually look around the world and you see a lot of people that are homeless and all of that because they haven't got the tokens to get a home and all of that. I'm like, what's the point of having money
Yeah,
if people can't have simple just a home? You know what I mean? So
see what you mean.
I mean, my family's always, I mean, have always said to me, you know, you should have always taken that good computer job that paid £20,000 a year, and you would have gotten something because they've seen me struggle through life. And I tell my mum and my family, it's not struggle, it's experiences for what I'm about to teach. You know, in the future, I was like 28 years old. Now I'm 46, going on to 47. Now I'm using those experiences to teach others. So what they see as struggling is actually my soul being enriched, my spirit and everything was getting enriched as I went through life. Yeah, I could have a fast car, I could have it, I could be a billionaire. But what happens with a lot of billionaires? A lot of them have said they feel sad, there's something missing inside because they haven't grown their soul. There's stars out there have sold their souls to the devil and stuff like that, and they've openly spoke about it. Yeah, I mean, but
Yeah,
those of I mean, you go to like a homeless person, not the ones they show on drugs now, but if you go to a proper one, you know what I mean, and you speak to them properly, and there's those out there that are like, I got Jesus in my heart, and they smiling, they're laughing, and so forth. And people look at them like, why are you laughing? You haven't got a home or nothing. And you look at somebody in $1 billion home, and you compare the two. It's like a parable from the Bible if I remember correctly, where you had this rich guy, he would walk past a homeless person every day or so forth, and he would mock that person and everything. Despite he's having nice food, he could give the food to the to the poor and all that, and he wouldn't. When they both finally died, the one who looked like he had it all in life ended up in hell, while the poor guy and all that had no home ended up in heaven. And I just thought that was a beautiful story of don't judge a book by its cover. I always loved that thing from the Bible. Sorry. I'm just in that mode lately. I've gone extreme into the theology of the Bible and everything else. And I know not all the books are in the Bible. It's only 66, and it's actually supposed to be over 81 to 88 books. When you look at the Ethiopian Bible. Sorry.
I see. And how did you manage? I know it's a bit hard nowadays to get the Ethiopian Bible. How did you manage to get
Uh,
it?
I went online. What it was, I was. The strange thing is, I for a while kept saying to myself, I shouldn't say this because it's supposed to only be between me and the divine, but I kept saying to the divine, "Are you sure I'm the right one? Are you sure I should be looking into this because I've done a lot of, you know, bad stuff. In my younger days, in my youth, and all that." And but as I've noticed, even funny enough, his name's also Paul in the Bible. He did far worse things than I would ever do, and yet he was called up to to the Lord. There's all these other things, and then I thought, hold on a minute, is the divine calling people that have actually gone through extreme experiences to show no matter how bad things get, he will always call people to him, to the Lord, not to bring people into heaven and to the path and stuff like that. And so when I went in onto the internet, doing my deep theology as well as I've got the Mason book. I'm reading the Quran. I'm trying to get hold of the English version of the Jewish books they use as well, and a few other things. And then I thought, wait a minute, let's see what's going out there. And then I came across a video saying, "Are you reading the right Bible? Because there's a Bible that not many people know about, which the Roman Empire don't want anyone to know." Because a lot of Europeans, all they know is the Roman Empire version, which is basically corrupted on so many levels. And it said, so it said, but the Ethiopian Bible, and I was like, oh, hello, what's this then? What I mean? So, and I had, watched a documentary, which I thought the BBC were lying. They did show like a building in Africa. This is where the first Bible is, like pictures on it and so on. But BBC, I thought, they're lying. But then all of a sudden, it was on YouTube by somebody that I do respect. I thought I better look into this, and I've looked into the two definition of Satan. He just his name means the accuser and stuff like that. And I mean, before I knew it, I was looking into the book of Adam and Eve. I was looking back into the book of Enoch, looking into all these different books which were taken out of the Bible, and it sends home a different message. Because what I'm starting to feel now, what Jesus was saying, I've come down into this earth not to condemn you of your sins, but I came here to free you from this world. You've been enslaved in this world and so forth, and I'm here to take you out of here. And giving you a chance to get out. And a lot of people, as we saw, they chose Barabbas over Jesus Christ in the Bible. And I'm like, I'm not going to be the one to choose Barabbas. I'm going to be the one that's like, hey, give me the knowledge, try and get me out here so I can pass it on to other people. Just give it to me. If I get condemned, if I get attacked, shot, or whatever, then that just proves one thing: the establishment, the authorities don't want it out there. Because my friend has always said, if I was lying, why is the authorities coming at me so hard? You know what I mean? If wouldn't you let a liar just keep lying and let the public just hear what he's got to say? But no, they've been trying to silence me left, right, and center, and I'm like, bring it. There's thousands of you against one of me. Let's see who wins. I've been in
Hard to
court
take
for
a good man down, right?
fun. Was
I'm
that?
just saying it's hard to, put a good man down. A man with good deeds.
And the
It's
thing is,
really hard to basically, yeah.
the thing as well, I've already died once as well. When I was a kid, so my eyes are open to what's beyond death. And I've got a T-shirt that I made, which is called "Death is a Doorway," and the police don't like that. They hate it because that's my way of saying, no, not I'm gonna die today. I could do, but touch wood, I still got a bit more time left to go around teaching. but it's a philosophy way. Every day you die, something dies you. You know, what I mean, you go from a child to an adult, so your childhood could die, and you just become an adult, or you go from being single into a relationship. So death is a doorway. You one thing's dying, well, one other thing's coming alive, and so and also even death dies. You were dead, and you know, according to some people, and then you're born, and then so the body was dead at one phase, comes to life, and it dies again. But the consciousness doesn't die, and that's one thing I think they don't want people to realize. The body may die, yeah, that's definitely going to die, but what's in the body is not going to die as long as you don't corrupt it and so forth, and you do things the right way. Not what I say or what any other man or woman says, but what the spirit and all that wants you to do. Then you know you should be fine. And you should always be checking things out for yourself. This is why I laughed when remember on TV they said trust the science and all that, and I just think that's gaslighting. That's cult behavior. They just want people just to trust it without looking into it for themselves. Look into it, trust yourself. Look, you know, what I mean, do the research yourself. Don't trust not being. Trust yourself. Look in where the Christ is, and so forth, and let that guide you.
I say,
Sorry, I'm taking up a lot of time, but yeah.
no, that is actually quite an eye opener. So
Hmm.
I really appreciate you, sir, for expressing all of that really useful information. I like having conversations such as these. It opens up, um, you know,
Yeah.
the third eye. If you know what I mean?
Oh, right in
So
the
yeah,
center of the forehead. I know her. And
yeah,
and the thing is, well, I'm not here for me. And that sounds stupid, and that sounds what I think. I am not here for me. You know what I mean? 'Cause, I'm here for
yeah.
whatever the divine sends me. You know what I mean? The police may look at me weird, which they do. The mental health teams are like, you're different. And all that
You're right.
because what happens is the police sends me to the mental health team, and the mental health team turns around and goes, no, he's fine. So I'm going for that dynamic all the time, but all the doctors are going, no, he's just enlightened. Leave him alone. And I'm like, oh, okay. They even sent me down to was it? I live in Wales, you know, I mean, in Penrell and so forth. They sent me to East England to a terrorist camp for thinking different to the government.
Mm,
And it videos on me on TikTok and the beauty alumni, which you go to last March, and not March just gone, but last year, from March to May, where I'm in this facility under Section 2 for 44 days at this facility because the authorities don't like the way I speak. What happened to freedom of speech?
mm.
I know. I mean, I will never know what Jesus went through totally, but I'm at like 0. Many zeros 1% what he has gone through. I never got understand what he truly went through, but I've had a taste of it, and yeah, I mean that shows me I'm on the right path.
That's right. That's right. I see it that way too. So.
And I better pay this bill. Otherwise, I might have somebody else shouting at me, going, "Why were you two on the phone so long?" But I mean, if you want to check what some of the stuff I do, you can go on Rumble and check out the Warrior Whales. Yeah, I mean, just type in Warrior Whales. I mean, you won't see me on there because, like I said, it's not about me. I'm putting all. Well, you might see me on Draggle Hell for like one video, but even then, you hardly see me in it because I'm too busy showing you the graphene oxide inside the mask, sort of thing. This little worm thing that moves about and stuff. But yeah, I got. I
But
mean,
you,
so I'm basically showing all different things, and one thing what I find interesting at the moment, well, with this Epstein stuff all going on, when myself and I would say maybe like 150,000 people back in 2020 were speaking out. I mean, we were told we are conspiracy theorists, and we had like Bill Maloney speaking out against the establishment and Jimmy Savile before the BBC took over and all that, and all these major outlets. Because on Edge Media, Bill Maloney said, "Yeah, Jimmy Savile is a PDF," and then a year or two later, everybody else got no. But it was on Edge Media Sky 200 that broke the news first. It wasn't the BBC, it wasn't Sky News or any of these outlets. It was Bill Maloney on Sky 200 Edge Media. Yeah, I mean, on a show there that said, "Hey, Jimmy Savile is one of these things." I mean, and but yet people still think the mainstream covered it. Yeah, it was on a mainstream thing, but they're only allowed to be on Sky because people fought for it, and then they took it away from the Sky network, and now we've got like the UK column, we've got richplanet.tv. So yeah, richplanet .tv and all of that. Yeah, I mean, and myself. I mean, I'm trying to get my website back up and running again, which is deaduk.info, which I used to have warriorwheels.com, but that got taken away. That's why I've keeping the Warrior Wheels name on Rumble to let people know, hey, I'm still here. And but yeah, I mean, so yeah, I mean, and I think with the Epstein thing, I think they using the Epstein thing as a distraction while they getting all this AI stuff in place on a much higher level. Because why would they say, oh, this politician's this and that, when they know nobody's gonna get sent to prison, because they're using it as a distraction to lay out this now surveillance AI smart agenda technology system under the I mean the 5G and 6G that they're rolling out.
Mm, true.
You can see why they trying to silence me.
I see it now.
Because I will not stop. I mean, it just flows out of me now. I mean, it's really a time I could stop it. I mean, I could just turn it off, and no, it's just flowing out of me. That's why I'm like, let's pay the bill because I won't stop otherwise. Yeah, I mean, because I've covered on Spreaker over 120 different subjects without realizing it. Because I went from 2011 to 2020, just talking about all these different subjects, from nanotechnology to blood sampling to fracking, smart meters, you name it. And then my mate said to me, "Do you know you talked a lot of stuff on your shows over the years?" I went, "Nah, I only talked about 10 subjects." And then they sat down one day and I was writing on a piece of paper. I talk about different histories. I talk about different. And the thing is, do you know what the funny thing is? Despite I may sound intelligent and all that and so forth, you've asked me on the street questions about. Yeah, I mean, even like now, I've told you about the science technology of future scenario one. But if you ask me on the street and so, because I'm not even thinking about that stuff, my mind is blank. I mean, because I mean, and people like, oh, you don't know anything. And I'm like, I know I don't, because I've learned. Yeah, I mean, to be in the world to not judge or anything like that is to have your mind blank. Because if your mind's not blank, you could be judging somebody. So I've also learned to silence the mind so I can hear the divine and learn not to judge. So when people are like me, oh, Paul's stupid, or could I made sure my mind is blank, despite the stuff is there.
So you just, yeah, I'm with you.
Yeah, because sometimes you got to keep it blank when you're in front of the authorities and all that, because they could easily send you to a mental health place that you never come from again, and people will never see you again. That's why you got to teach yourself to be blank in the mind as well.
See what helps.
Yeah. But anyway, let's pay this bill. Your boss is
Yeah,
probably
but
thinking now.
so
Hmm? Your boss probably thinking, who is he talking to?
right. So you did tell me that it is a Visa card and it's under your names. I was just about to get
Yeah.
the expiry date, Andrew.
Okay. The expiry date is
bit of tapping sounds on your phone. Do not be alarmed, yeah? That's just me.
Ah, okay.
Bear with me. Right, excellent. Can you just do me a favor now and type in
Okay.
the long 16-digit card numbers on your phone, then press hash at the end, okay? Let me know once you're all done.
Ah, okay. There we go.
Right, let me just quickly receive the numbers now. Right, so can you verbally confirm just the last four numbers of the card number?
Yep, they are.
Thank you. And now I just need the postcode and the first line of the address
Okay.
associated. Excellent. Just making these now to collect the balance of £37, yeah?
Yep, that's magic. Thanks for that, man.
Right, the payment has certainly been assisted. Would you like the authorization code, which is for the payment today?
Send it through my email address, and I'll print it off then because because where I am at the moment, I probably miswrite it down and stuff like that.
Oh, see, the thing is, I'm unable to actually have it sent via an email.
Oh,
But if you would like, I can just leave it on your account.
yeah. Leave it on the account.
On your
I
account
get
is
next time.
working.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and the
No,
thing is, well,
no need to call it out or anything now.
no, that's it. You say from South Africa, am I right?
That's correct.
I used to know a dance company that came from South Africa. They called the Creations. They came back in the 90s, run about between 97 to 2000 when I was with Daniel, which is now known as Melbourne Dance Company. So we had like a few dance companies. I think they were called Creations because it was like we had Creations, 4D, and one other dance company. We all interacted and we did the gumboot together. And me being me, I'm up for anything, right? And I didn't expect how fast the gumboot can go. And I mean, because I was watching them, and they were like, just
It's
warming it up
crazy.
and so forth. And I thought, yeah, I'll do that. And then we got on stage then together, me and Simon, we got up there, and the guy said, to me and Simon, just follow us, I mean, just keep going, you know the routine, just, we're going to repeat it over and over again. I was like, oh, cool. And then all of a sudden, they went faster and faster and I was like, oh my God. And when they finally stopped and we went off stage and so forth, my whole body was on fire. My legs were burning and stuff like that. And I was like, I love this. It wasn't like, oh, pain or not doing that again. I was like, this is what it's like to be connected with another culture. This is brilliant, I thought.
Sure, that's crazy.
We did it in Wellies as well. I mean, I don't think, it's done in Wellies in South Africa, but we did it in Wellies as well. It was like, what? So, I mean, so
Sure, that was a memorable experience.
oh, it's beautiful. I mean, that's why I mean, I'm doing what I'm doing now. You know what I mean? Because I've met people from different cultures and all that. So when I hear on the news saying, "Oh, this culture is full of terrorists" and all that, I'm like, not my experience. I've seen the beauties of, and there's still many cultures I haven't seen. I would like to go to South America and experience all the cultures there. There's some cultures in Australia I want to check out, and the Far East and so forth. But yeah, there's cultures I've already experienced and so forth. I just think it's beautiful, you know what I mean? And we need to see that on the news. We need to see, but as we know, the news ain't there to push peace and love. It's there to push fear, divide, and conquer, sort of thing.
Mucho.
And as I just said, police siren coming. Yeah, no, from my neck of the woods. But anyway, it's been lovely speaking to you and stuff like that. You have a lovely day in
uh,
South Africa.
Likewise, Mr. Andrew, it has been excellent speaking with you. Um, yeah, so you have indeed enlightened me with your knowledge, sir. So I really appreciate that. Please be aware that TalkTalk may send you a survey in your registered email in the next 2 to 24 hours. Just asking you to rate your experience with me, sir. Survey will consist of my name and a rating from 0 to 10. So you can rate me however you felt about in the score, sir. Okay?
I'll look into it and so forth. And it may not be straight away because I'm always, as you probably tell, I'm a deep researcher, and so it may be like a day or a week or a month, before I see it.
Yeah.
But if I see it,
No, I understand.
yeah, yeah, but hopefully, I don't get taken away as well for speaking. Because we know they are listening through the mobile devices and stuff like that. This guy he's telling other people in other countries now. We must get hold of Mister Paul Andrew Page and throw him away.
Oh,
But anyway, you have a,
God will keep you, Mr. Andrew, because you are doing good.
and you have a blessed day now. You take care, okay?
Appreciate that. So you take care if there's nothing else. Yeah?
Nope, that's it. That's fine. All right, bye for now.
Bye.
Sorry about that, guys. ah. That was fun, guys. That was fun. You guys missed a lot of that, I suppose, because I didn't watch my red light on. I had to be careful of my details as well. So yeah, and I know it's my bar stick as well and everything else. But yeah, I noticed though. Uh, I'm gonna have to delete this one to be honest because it didn't go to where I wanted it. It's very intriguing and stuff like that, and I want to put the what do you call it? I want to put a new version of the theater thing and everything, and so I might do that as well. But I've still got other companies to phone as well. I've did stores this morning. I've done the food shopping. We've done the thing. We got the Welsh water and talk to do, but I'm gonna relax for a bit, get a drink in me and so forth and everything. And I know I've been drinking this, but it's cold. But yeah, that was fun. And the thing, guys, you probably notice with me, I don't like phones. Because I don't know how to end the phone properly. I don't. I mean, it's like a couple of times like I take care of that because I don't know how to end them properly. You know what I mean? And but yeah, it's somebody phoned me this morning that one of the companies I'm with it's been taken over by another company, but I'm still with that lovely people that I've been dealing with. I've also on TikTok as well. I've under Beauty Alumni. I've done stuff over there as well, and what I've noticed with certain phrases in TikTok's like you can't miss out on that. Bit like YouTube, really, isn't it? And Facebook has deleted one of the Vax videos as well. That I posted. Not what I did, but somebody did a documentary, so I thought I'd post it up on there, and Facebook went, "You're not allowed to do that." And I'm like, let me post this one up instead then. So I posted another one up. Funny enough, they have not deleted that one. They've deleted one, but not the. They've allowed the Vax 1, 2, and 3 one up. That's named the title actually of the documentary Vaxxed 1 and 2 and 3. And the one that was about Vax that got deleted wasn't called Vax. Work that out. So something that's called Vax gets left up by Facebook, but something called C19 and it's got a doctor in it and so forth gets deleted. Hmm, interesting. Maybe I should call my videos Vax. One, it could have got 1, 2, and 3. I call it rest now. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, and so on. But anyway, and the thing is, well, you can tell now I'm behaving like a child by going back and forth right now, I guess. But yeah, it's intriguing, and if the wonderful Boogie is watching this well from the local live novel, I agree with Boogie. His home is his home, and end of the day, if it's not all part of a show and so forth, and it's not part of a skit and so forth, I mean, if you once you said no, that's it. No, no one is supposed to come into your home and everything. And on top of that as well, nobody has the right to try and kill you out of a building either as well. Nobody. So, but anyway, on that note,